Okay guys, welcome back to another video. But first, before I get started, man, check out this haircut. My boy 2 always gets me right, man. He makes me feel on one every time I leave that barbershop. But anyways, enough of that. Um, in this video, I want to talk about something a little different than what I normally do in the channel. I want to talk about investments and things that this is something that I feel like a lot of people lacked teaching us when we were in school or just growing up. I feel like it would have been nice to have people, telling you what to do, how to invest your money, how to handle money, how to do different things that obviously they didn't teach us. And none of this stuff was taught in school, at least not to me. I could be wrong, but to me and in my experience, they didn't teach us none of this. How to do taxes, how to do none of that. So, anyways, that's what this video is about. I want to teach you guys one thing that I feel like it is super important to do in life, especially when you're young, because I feel like this was the best decision that I've ever made in my life, which is investing in a home. But first, we're going to start off with how much money do you need to buy your first home? I'm not talking about renting or leasing. I'm talking about actually going in there, getting a realtor and having them help you to purchase your first home. So, I'll tell you guys from my experience. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys straight up what I spent and everything. So, this was back in 2017. So, a couple years back, when the market was a lot better than it is now to buy a home. It was a lot easier. Right now, it's completely crazy. It's almost impossible for a lot of people to buy a home, and I understand that. That's what I'm referring to. Like, I'm glad I did this when I was only 20 years old. And believe me, when I bought my first home, I was not ready for a big purchase like that. It was just something that I put in my mind. As soon as I started working on that factory, I was there for about, well, I was there right after high school. Excuse me. And but I always told myself, because right after high school, when I started working, I bought a car, and I bought a couple cars, and it was cool. I was young. That's what I wanted to do. But then I was like, I want to start my family, and I knew I couldn't afford a house and to have two car payments. So at the time, I had an Audi B7 S4. It was a really nice car, 6-speed manual, beautiful, beautiful car. But I was making payments of $350 a month, and then on top of that, I was living in an apartment, and I was paying $890 a month for a 3-bedroom. And I was like, man, that's almost not affordable at the time. My wife, I can't remember where she was working, but it was pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, this video is completely honest from my experiences, so I'm telling you guys how it is. So I was like, okay, if we're gonna start a family, I want my first. We were talking about having our first kid, so I was like, you know what? Let's sell my car. And that's what we did. I sold my car, we kept her car, and I started looking for a home. I found one in the neighborhood that I wanted because my brother lives in this neighborhood, and my other brother lives in the neighborhood right behind us. So basically, I wanted to be together. I didn't want to leave this side of town. I wanted to stay around here. I'm just used to this side of town growing up. When we lived in a double wide for like 15 years, it was close to here too. So I was like, I just got used to this side of town, and this is where I wanted to stay. So anyways, I looked for a house, and I found one. And actually, I found one on the street right before my brother's street. So I was like, this is perfect. Me and my wife used to come and walk around this neighborhood, and I would tell her every time I walked by this house, I'd be like, one day that house is gonna be mine. And the reason why I said that is because it had a for sale sign. But I just always kept positive mindset, and I was like, I'm gonna make this happen. It don't matter what I have to do. I'm gonna buy this home, and we're gonna live here. And sure enough, that's what I did. I got in contact with a realtor. She basically told me what I needed, and we started the process. So to make long story short, I'm gonna tell you guys, because I don't want to make this video way too long. So I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what I needed. First of all, you need to have good credit. My credit was at about 620, maybe, when I started the process, and she was like, you have a couple of debt you need to pay off before we can start this process, because they're just not gonna approve you. You're too young. They're gonna think you're not responsible, this and that. And I was like, okay. So what I do. I was like, well, my wife has great credit, but she don't have any debt, but her income wasn't that good. So I was like, okay, so what if we join our income and our credit together? So that's what we did. We joined our income and our credit, and then we started the application. Okay, that's the first step. Good credit. Our credit was good enough to start to buy the home. But like I mentioned, I had debt. So what I had to do though, although she told me the credit's good, the income is good, but there's things that you have to pay off before we start this process. So I had to pay off a lot of the debt that I had. I had like 5 open loans that I was paying on. And these are things mistakes that I did when I was younger, where I would go and buy car parts or wheels for the cars and things that I could have bought cash, but I just wanted to, not pay up front. So I just got everything on credit just to build my credit, but I would take longer than I would. I should have paid these things, way sooner, but I was just slacking and I would just basically take my time to pay them. Well, they caught up to me to the point where I was like really having a hard time paying these things. So I had to do what I had to do. Basically, I had to put in a lot of overtime working where I was working, and within a month or two, I paid off those loans. And the lady was like, okay, we're good to go. You don't have any debt anymore. You took care of all that. And when I tell you I was with this realtor every day for about 3 months, I'm literally not even exaggerating. Every day it was either go to the bank, give me a bank statement, go to the bank, do this, go to your workplace, she would send me everywhere. I needed different kinds of paperwork, some proof of addresses where I lived, a bunch of stuff, like everything. So the next step was the down payment. My house was worth $136,000, and it was only 2 years old. It was in good shape. It was perfect. I loved the house. So she told me that I needed to have at least $5,000 down payment. And that's when selling my car helped me out a lot, because selling my car helped me come up with the money that I needed to buy this home. And like I said, I had to make a couple sacrifices here and there, but that was one that it wasn't such a big deal to me. It was either a car or a house, and obviously I'm gonna pick the house over a car, and I'm glad I did. So down payment was $5,000, and then the next thing is you want to get your house inspected before you buy a house. You really need to pay for this. I think it was like maybe $300 to get it inspected, or I might be exaggerating. I can't really tell you exact number. I forgot. It's been years. But I know that I paid a fee to get it inspected, and basically they look for mold or anything that's potentially wrong with the house that you might have to spend some money on, or if it's worth for the lenders to even loan you the money to buy this home if it's not in good shape. So that is a very important step. Like, I recommend everybody to get their home inspected before they buy their first home, or any home in general. So that was the next step. It passed the inspection. We were clear. So we're good to go. Now I'm gonna fast forward a lot because, like I said, I don't wanna make this video boring and so long. So anyways, we started the process in November. We bought the house in February 1st. We moved in of 2017. So it took about 3 months. Yeah, 3 months of, like I said, running errands to get bank statements, a whole bunch of stuff that they needed. So after those 3 months, we moved in. You're gonna have to, when I tell you they bring a stack of paper this big for that house, I'm not exaggerating. Like, they came to my work and I sat down over there right after work, signed everything. It was just an amazing feeling. I can't even express that feeling. It was like a big accomplishment in my life. And then they told me, I said, where's the key? After I signed all that, they said, oh, your wife has it already. She's already moving in. I'm like, oh man, it was just amazing. I can't even explain it, like I said. But anyways, so now the next question that you guys might have, how much were you paying a month? So my monthly payment was $880 a month on my mortgage. That's with the insurance included and obviously the house payment. But keep in mind, when I was renting my apartment, my 3-bedroom apartment, I was paying $890. So I know it's not really saving much, but it's $10 less that I was paying on my own house though. So, you know, I'm not paying somebody else's rent. I'm paying for my own property. One of the things that I forgot to mention is the closing cost. Sometimes you have to pay that, or sometimes the owner of the house, you know, the previous owner pays for it. In my situation, they paid for it, so I didn't have to come out of pocket, but I think that was like 3,500 to close on the property. Um, Keep one thing in mind though, guys. Owning a home is very nice, but a lot of responsibilities come with that. For example, when things go wrong, you are the one responsible for paying for those repairs. In my situation, I had the whole AC unit break on me in the summer, like 4 months ago, and it cost me $3,000 just to replace everything. And trust me, when I tell you I didn't want to spend $3,000 on that, man, it hurt. It hurt me. I didn't think my home being a couple years old was gonna need a new AC unit, but it did. And these are things that happen to everybody at one point. So, um, I definitely, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't want to pay for it. I looked for other, you know, quick repairs, but everything would, you know, they would come and put some Freon or do this and that, and it would last like a week and then it would break again. So I was like, okay, enough is enough. The kids are not having a good time living at the house, neither am I. And I was like, so it is what it is. I gotta do what I gotta do, and I gotta get it fixed. So that's what I did. So trust me, $3,000 came out of pocket, and it was not fun. Another thing that happened, as you guys know, the tornado, um, it did destroy my shop, but it also did some damage on my home, which having to deal with insurance companies sucks. Like nobody likes to do it. They tell you a bunch of things, you know, they're gonna cover for this and that, but when it's time to actually back you up, they don't really do what they promise. So it's hard to find a good insurance company that's gonna actually back you up. In my situation, my siding on my master bedroom got like bent from the wind. I don't know. It just looks weird. It was not straight. It's more like it had like a couple like, I don't know. It looks bubbly. I'm not no handyman or construction worker. I don't know what the heck I'm telling you guys. All I'm telling you guys is that the shape was different and I wanted that replaced. And of course, my master bedroom window busted completely open. So I did the claim and they only gave me $500 basically. And with that, they wanted me to pay for my siding, the window, and the labor of getting the window fixed. I was like, wow. But it is what it is. That's all I got from them. I was not here. I was not going to fight nobody. I was just like, I just wanted to get it over with. Give me what you're going to give me. And I'll repair it with, you know, the people that I know. I found a buddy that I know from high school, and he's obviously licensed and insured, and he did the replacement on the window. But anyways, yeah, but I still had to come out of pocket to fix my window. Like, that was not enough to cover the labor or the window. I think I came out of pocket maybe a couple $100, maybe $300 to be exact. Still, you know, I didn't plan on doing that, but you know, you have to. But now I'm gonna talk about the good stuff, like why buying a home is one of the best investments. Well, this is my opinion. You guys could disagree with me. It's okay. Everybody has their own opinion. Now, the good thing about owning a house is the equity that you build on your property while you're living here. So basically, yes, you're paying a mortgage, but your house over time, the value is going to go up. And in my case, like I told you guys, I paid $136,000 for my home when I bought it in 2017. Now, when I looked at I looked at the different websites to see basically the value of my home, and I saw the highest that I saw was 230, and then the lowest that I seen was like 200. So you do the math. Basically, if I was to sell my home today, potentially, and after closing costs and all that, paying the seller, I could clear a very nice amount of money. They sent me receipts all the time, or paperwork from the mortgage company, basically to show me, you know, if I was to sell my home, what my equity would be right now. I saw one of 100,000. That was the highest that I've seen, and then the lowest was 80,000. So, and I bought this in 2017, so it's 2023. So, so I basically built that much money in 6 years without doing anything except paying for my home. And it's nice to know that you have money somewhere. Like if something was to go wrong, if I wanted to move, or if I had to leave the country or whatever, that I know that if I sell this home, I got money in there no matter what. And a lot more money than, you know, my down payment was $5,000. If I sell this home, can you imagine clearing 100,000 or even close to 100,000? That would be amazing. That's just from me making my house payment every month, and for 6 years. So, you know, I could, if I wanted to, there's many things that you can do with owning with this property. There's many things you can do with that money in your home. If you wanted to take that money out and invest it in, like, you know, a business, or buying another home, or paying off debt, or buying your dream car, whatever it is you want to do, you got money in there to play with. So the longer you have it, the more equity you build and the more money you have in there. So that is why I recommend, well, if you can, and if you're ready. If you're not ready, and if you can't, don't do it, because it's gonna put you in a hole as well. You know, 6 years haven't been easy paying this home. Sometimes I was late on payments by a couple days. So it's not like I was on, I haven't struggled owning this home. I went through everything with this property, but I don't regret it one bit. Like I said, I think this is the best investment that I've ever done. I'm just basically here to share some knowledge with you guys. Hopefully you guys can learn a thing or two from this video. If you guys enjoy this type of content, you know, I have a lot of stuff that I can talk about other than just showing you like my family and stuff like that. Anyways, guys, we're close to 500 subscribers. So at 500 subscribers, I will do a $100 gift card giveaway. And I'll talk about that later, like once I reach 500. But I just wanted to announce that, and I hope everybody's having a blessed day. See you guys on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching.